Hello Chiefs, this is Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. Firstly, I've said it before, I apologise. At the moment we've got the Euros on, which I don't have that like pay-per-view stuff, so I only see the free football when I get a chance to. So I've been watching in the late afternoons and the evenings. I've been watching the first group stage football, so that's slowed things down. Also, the internet has been absolutely a bit. We are trying to chase it up. It's been abysmal since we've signed up with BT, and it's just got the shell the shell BT we had before, the shell internet we had before that was just as bad. And you believe all their hype and everything, and nothing's changed. But it seems to have got worse. I'm having real trouble loading stuff up, as I've said to you. When my wife's on her computer in the other room, which is all day, I can't load stuff up. I can't video. I can't do anything. Well, the video is just down to background noise, but the actual loading up of the videos is horrendous. Obviously, my Pop Archie's 13. He's got dementia, and he sets off pacing everywhere. So I can't sometimes do them at night. If my wife's gone out for whatever reason, I think, right, I'll get my video done up now. I've got Arch pacing around, panting his head off and banging into things and falling over. Not his fault. Yeah, it's just getting videos up when I can. I was going to do Paul over at Left Coast Model Car Builds. I think he's got this Cars and Coffee every Sunday morning. Stick a particular time, stick a video up under 3 minutes of your car you're building, or older builds or whatever. Well, I haven't got any really older builds. I'm somebody who's got into the hot rod and custom scene without doing a lot, just because I do so much other stuff. And the ones I have got on, which is about 3 at the moment, they just crawl along as all my model builds do. So but what I'm trying to say is, I went to do a video and it was just horrendous. Just couldn't get it uploaded or whatever, so that had to go by the by. So I apologise, Paul. I will join that thing you're doing, but at the moment video connection, internet connection is horrible. Also, thanks to the people that have been popping over to the community tab. Now, community tab is, for me, it's been quite actually, how many, 10, 12 years, I don't know, more than that on YouTube. Never used it once, never even looked at anybody else's, never think about it. But what it is quite handy that I can stick just photos up, and at this time where I'm having real trouble with my internet, at least it will allow me to get some photos up, and you can put 5 up, I believe, and you don't have to listen to this rubbish. Thanks for the people that have been checking that out. At the moment it's been posts painting the 120mm Waffen SS 3D printed figure. I didn't print it, I just bought it off the internet, off eBay. But there'll be other stuff going up there as well. What I am thinking of doing, I noticed it said quiz on there, right? Ooh, I Like the Chase, which is a UK, it's probably in other countries as well, but a UK quiz show on general knowledge. And I thought, not that I'm going to do the chase, but anybody interested in me putting up maybe 5 questions at a time, maybe 10, I don't know. It might be once a week, it might be a couple of times a week, no prizes. And I'm going to do a military. I can't do a car stuff because I wouldn't understand that enough to do that, but I am a military history buff, as we all know. And I'm thinking of doing a military history quiz on there as well. As I say, no prizes. You can go off. Some of you might know the answers. They'll all be Gav-centric stuff, though. Sorry. If there's something in military history, modern conflict. Well, I won't be doing modern conflict, but I'm talking about like up to Vietnam, things like that. I'm not going to be probably straying into topics. I might do, but I've got plenty of books. But what I'll do is go and look at some questions, and they won't be easy. Some will be really easy, and some of them will be quite hard. And you can either go away and look it up. Let's face it, Google is your friend, or you can just see what stuff you know. So anybody interested in that, I might stick one up probably tomorrow. I'm just going to find actually write them down this time and the answers. And what I'll do is the following day if I get the chance, or the day after, but probably the following day I'll stick the answers up. And you won't have to pass, like at school, pass your papers round to people to mark. Just a bit of fun. As I say, I actually quite enjoy that community tab. I've only been doing it a bit, but I just think it's a chance to, it is, for my little community on here, you know, it's somewhere you can go and see some photographs that aren't, you know, me blabbering away as I do, and you can see different just photos of different projects up. It doesn't take any of your time up, does it? 2 seconds to read whatever I put down and look at the photographs. So yeah, I thought, but when I saw that little quiz thing, I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. I might do some quizzes. I probably won't be doing polls. I don't. For me, I do what I want to do on my channel. I don't ask people what I should do next. But I will be putting a quiz up, I think. So look forward to that one. So down at the bench, we've got these were given to me by a good mate of the channel, JC. I will be selling these on, he knows that, because I haven't got the room to just store loads and loads of figures. But I've been doing these American Civil War, just one gun crew at the moment. The gun is over there, half painted, and that needs to be finished off. So I just thought we'd quickly, how long is it taking already? Quickly go down to the bench, take a look at these. Just one photograph of each, just from the front at the moment, because they haven't been varnished or clear coated, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I might talk about some other bits and pieces I've got on the go. See you down at the bench. Right guys, I'm sorry for the ambient noise outside. I've got both windows open. It's a bit warm in the UK at the moment, or warm for us, and I need to have the windows open. He calls Arch down, he's lying in his bed next to me. So Perry figures, nice sculpted. These are actually a jacket. I've painted them as the waistcoat, because a lot of the waistcoats were jackets with the sleeves cut off and whatever, once the sleeves are gone. Faces are a bit soft, so I've had to, I don't get any closer than that, I've had to really put some contrast. I don't mean contrast paint, I just mean high contrast cheeks and stuff to get them to, they look a bit messy when you do a close-up like that, but they're a lot better when you stand them back, if that makes sense. Need to dirty this up a bit more. I took it they used like a white sheepskin. You get head choices, because this set you can make Union or Confederate. I decided to go with the red stripes. They didn't all have the red artillery stuff all over them, but they were already moulded in. I mean, you could have just sanded them or whatever, gently filled them, but they're already on there, so I decided to go with them. They weren't on the arms. I've put those on myself. So as I say, these are plastic. Nice enough, you know. I'm not raving about them. This guy, I think his arms are actually supposed to be, because there's a limber you get with each gun as well, which is good. And I believe he's supposed to be taking something off the limber. What I'm supposed to be doing, I was anticipating he's supposed to be, because in the raw plastic figures that they've got, because they show you where each figure should go on a gun, and I was going for this pose where one's holding over the canister to him. Well, I don't know if it's canister or not, but you know, he's not canister, is it? It's a ball. This is for a £10. Is it £10? I think it's a £10 Parrot gun, off the top of my head. So I gave him one of the, it's like a civilian hat, just for a bit of a change. Gave him the not oilskin, but it's like that tarred effect bread bag rather than the linen one. But yeah, he's a bit, you know, his arms are a bit straight and that, but it is what it is. Could have made this a sergeant, I just made him a corporal. Obviously with a lanyard for They weren't touching off the fuse hole by then with a lighted match. It was the like firing mechanism. What was I going to say? Yeah, I've just put a couple of cannon barrels on the top. I was going to try and put some divisional badges on, and I might do it on some of the ones that I'll do later on. This is the rusty gold. It's quite a nice colour. It's got a nice patina to it. So if you're already putting brass down and then putting a darker paint over the top, as I get louder trying to get out my wife laughing her head off in the background, just use this. It's very good. Not overly sparkly. I mean, obviously a lot of that sparkle will go. I'm not a huge fan of using metallics on such small scale because it tends to over shiny, if that makes sense. You don't get the definition of what you've painted. But this is quite good. I like it. Don't use it on everything, but for things like this, it just gives that nice dulled down brass. Well, I know it's rusty gold, but just call it dulled down brass. Just thought you might want to get yourself a pot of that or bottle of that. Other stuff I'm doing at the moment, I'm making some mannequins up. This is just roughly put on. I've just made a bit of a chest thing there, and I did the backs this morning because they were too flat where they've been sat down, but I'll give this a bit of a shaping, drill some holes in, and I'm going to attempt is a word, to sculpt some 1 in 35 scale figures. This I'm sticking on first, and then I will add more putty to it once it's gone off. Pretty hairs all over the place. And I've got several heads because I want to practice that. If I can get the bodies right, but the heads, my facial, which let's face it, they're not going to be particularly very good. If they're not very good, then I'll buy something like the Hornet heads, which are pre-cast. If you don't know, they're already done heads, and you know, as long as you're not going to sell them as one of your own sculpts or something. And these are just for me. I mean, I wouldn't even countenance trying to sell something. And even if I turned into a decent 1 in 35 sculptor, I wouldn't still sell them because recasters, once the recasters in China and Sri Lanka and other places get their hands on it, and there's guys doing it in the UK at the moment, I see keep popping up on eBay. And what gets me is that they have the gall to actually use like Alpine Miniatures box art, but it's always a telltale because they'll always, if it doesn't come in a box that's been done by a recaster, and the problem is with recasters they're killing the figures industry because it's not getting cost effective for why bother sculpting something when somebody is just going to recast your figure and make money on something that they've not even done anything to. Anyway, going for your hobby horse, Gav. So yeah, this has been, what I'll do is drill a hole in here, then there's like a hip area. Yeah, I know, I don't even know which way that's supposed to be. But it will be when it's, I think it's supposed to go like that. That's just because I've done the back on it again. And then I'll give that a sanding, reshape it. But there'll be so in the hip area, there'll be some paper clips going in for the basic leg structure. Then a hole here which will connect to the torso on another piece. And then there'll be wire going into the arms, and then you build, once you've bent your figure into that position, you can go from there. Now I was deciding whether I actually said what I was going to sculpt because I've been trying to sculpt for a couple of years on 28s and anything that 10 mils, anything I think I'd like to have a go, because you always you've got an idea of a figure, and it'd be brilliant to sculpt your own figure. As I say, I'm not going to do it commercially, just do them for me. And I've always wanted to, and I'm just not artistic enough to be able to do it, but I'm going to give it another go. I was using the twisted wire armatures before. In fact, I've got one over here which is an aborted attempt full of dust. There you go. I mean, now that's actually going straight in the bin in a minute. That's twisted wire, and I saw these mannequins for sale at an El Greco for 54mm figures. Again, you can use them to do your own sculpting, but I thought, well, the basic shape for a mannequin, the torso and that hip area and that, that shouldn't be that hard to do, and they give you some little booted feet type things which I still have to make. But I just thought, no, that's I could probably do that myself, and I'll try one in 35 scale figures first. But I would like to do some like 54 mils, and I'd like to do like the 120mm or stroke 116 figure that I'm doing. I'd love to do one of those. So yeah, that's another plan. I keep having a go, and when I saw these mannequins, I thought, yeah, I'm going to give that a go. Oh, I didn't say what they were going to be, did I? I've got a Grant stroke Lee. I can never remember which one it is, and it's the mini art one, but it's not full interior or anything. And I showed it. I'm not sure if I did an unboxing. I might have done, but it's one that was being used by the Americans. The decals it got were all based before they went overseas. In fact, they've even got big Balkan crosses, German crosses on the one, as it's being used as a pretend enemy, as a German, like in an exercise. And I didn't want any of that. And I'd just seen some photographs of British 14th Army in Burma with, I say British Army, there were so many forces, including a couple of American infantry regiments that were serving in the 14th Army. But British 14th Army had got these Grant tanks, or Lees, I remember. But and it's got the counterweight on the front of the 75mm muzzle, whereas like I believe the British in the desert used the longer barrel. And I thought, when I read into it, it turned out, well, one, you can get the decals for them. It turned out they were shipped directly from the States to Burma, well, to India, to be used in Burma. And because the Japanese didn't really have a tank force there of any credibility, the older tanks like the Lee or the Grant could be used. So after all that, they're going to be get round to it, Gav. They're going to be British tank crews for my Lee tank. I'm not going to build the tank at the moment, but I will have to get it out the box actually, and so I can pose a couple of figures on it. It's got no interior, you see, so although it's got great big doors, the minute they're open, you just see a big box of emptiness in the middle. And there's no way I'd want to do a full interior anyway. But I thought a couple of strategically placed figures might go well with that. I didn't want to be overly complicated with weapons and things, because you have to make them yourself, and I'm up for anything these days with scratch building, but at the moment let's just get a basic. So I thought, well, British Army figures like that, like tank crews, they were literally in green shirts, trousers, either a bush hat, and then later on they got those Balmoral caps, which were the forerunner to the berries. They had those shipped out as well, but mainly bush hats. And I just thought, yeah, or head, didn't have to have a hat on at all. And I thought if I could just do the, obviously, arms, legs, torso, all that, if my faces are really appalling, I can at least get some heads, that and even if to make bush hats, so that's the idea. What can possibly go wrong? Anyway, guys, I'm waffling. There'll be another, what am I doing? Yeah, so these guys are done. I'm saying that because you know what it's like, you look through the camera lens and realise there's something else you've got to do. But these guys are done. I haven't got it's got base colours all over the parrot gun. They just need highlighting now. So they've got clear the decks with those. I've just got the drummers to finish off on the French War of the Spanish Succession, and that whole unit's done. Hurrah! And it can be based and everything. I've still got to get back. I've still got four to six Bavarians to do, Napoleonic Bavarians, for that unit to be done, because then the French and the Bavarians can be up for sale. I think that's it for now. Oh, I'm going to start work as well on that. I'm going to look at the figures again this afternoon. I'm going to start work on one of those SDKFZ 251 15mm half tracks. I'm not going to go overboard. I was going to put an engine in one, scratch build an engine, but because I want to put it with the Tiger, and I want to put them, I'd seen a scene, and I've got a couple of I've always been interested about the Kharkov, a couple of Kharkov books, and I'd seen that, I can't remember if it was the which, it was a Waffen SS unit, maybe Totenkopf, I'm not sure, but they were forming up to go into Kharkov by the look of it, and they there was a 251 and a Tiger in part of the, you know, the queue of traffic type of thing to go down there. So or in there, all the surrounding area. So yeah, I might have a look at converting those figures into Parkers. The way, because I want to use the figures, the commander, I can't. He's they've put him in a classic, you know, blaring, shouting out orders with a pistol in his hand at his side, and I just think that's going to be. You can't really have an engine, somebody looking at an engine while he's mouthing off to the Tiger commander type of thing. So I'll probably leave that fairly intact. I might open one of the back doors or both the back doors. I probably will on that, and add some interior detail to it. But I won't go as far as doing a scratch built engine, but I will do that on the other one, which will probably be a Battle of the Bulge one. We shall see. Anyway, oh, that can be. Can it be? I'll have to ask Charlie Mack. He's doing this this 80th anniversary, or he said there's a lot of 80th anniversaries coming up. So I take it that's just the end of the war, rather than like 43 when Kharkov was on. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, so that's going to be done as well. But probably have a start playing around with that this afternoon, really, because I say once that's done, I can prime that and the Tiger together and paint them both together. That's why the Tiger, you haven't seen any progress on painting the Tiger. So thank you very much. I'm going all around the houses, as we say over here, as usual. That's Gav style. So look after yourselves. Thanks for showing an interest. As I say, if you do want to get in on the military history quiz that I'll be putting up on the community tab, look out for that coming up maybe tomorrow, in the next day or so. Just press the community. You'll see the photographs going up as I'm doing them, as on the Waffen SS 120mm stroke 116 figure, and then the quiz will be in there as well. Probably do 10 questions, I think, rather than 5, and they will be anything that I happen to take a fancy to in military history, and I'll try and dot them. There won't be a theme, they'll be literally plucked throughout military history. If you're interested, maybe check it out. So thank you very much. Look after yourselves. Thanks for all the kind words and support. It's always appreciated, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video.